because you know it comes from the heart. I also just want to thank everybody that made it to today's event. The panels were so informative and so enriching, and I learned a lot. And for me, and I'm sure for all of us, it was really a true affirmation of what our continent has to offer its people and also offer the rest of the world. It was an affirmation that we are a dynamic people, an intelligent people, smart, endowed with incredible resources, mineral resources, free wind, solar, sun, most arable land, the surface of the earth. And all of these assets really underscore the point that Africa is a wealthy continent. We're not a poor continent, we're a wealthy continent, we're hardworking people. It's just, in some cases, poor management of our resources that makes us who we are and unable to make our contribution to the rest of the world. And that is where my work comes in, to feel that, to be that thread that ties everything together in terms of good governance and democratic governance, in terms of our citizens being able to hold their governments accountable, and in terms of peaceful transitions of political power as part of a normal routine in every democratic society. I must say that it's teamwork, and I have a lot of colleagues who are here right at 3 p.m. because Amy asked us to be here on time, and we're all here on time. Some of them may have left, but if there are any NDI colleagues still in the room, please could you stand up and be recognized, because this is really Thank you. And in fact, the work that we do and the way we approach our work is not to stand in front of people and lecture them about what they should do, but more to stand side by side with them, or even behind them, to support them in their own efforts. And it is truly people like Amy and the incredible work that she's doing on the ground with young girls and young boys across the continent that give us motivation to continue to work, knowing that, God willing, we'll be able to leave the next generation a better continent than we have inherited. And let's all remember that Africa is projected in the next 2 or 3 decades. By 2050, Africa will be 25% of the world's population. And it's those young girls, those young boys that Amy is providing leadership to today that will be leaders of the world tomorrow. Let me just say a very short story about Amy because she's terrific. And Amy, I must say that you recognize visionary leaders because you're a visionary leader yourself. On one of my trips to Dakar, I spent an evening with the family in the family home, and we had wonderful conversations and wonderful food with Amy, with her mom, with her dad, and the siblings. And then, as I was being taken back to my hotel, I was told that Amy would have a small meeting the next day with a few of her friends to work on many of her new initiatives. So I said, sure, I would like to visit and say hello to everybody. And they said, okay, you'll be most welcome. The next morning, I got into the car, I went to the meeting venue. It was right around the port in Dakar. I still remember like it was yesterday. And so I got out of the car, I get into a building, I go through a couple of corridors, and then the door goes wide open. And it's a huge auditorium. It's almost like a stadium. And there are 5,000, there's like 5,000 young Senegalese all listening to Amy. And I'm like, where are your friends? And she says, these are all my friends. So Thank you so much for all you do. This is a real source of inspiration and motivation, and I hope that we will continue to do our best to make sure that our continent can be all it wants to be and can play the leadership role that the rest of the world expects from Africa. So thank you very much for your indulgence, and thank you for the award.
Deeply and gratefully received on behalf of the volunteers that have served in Mercy Ships now from over 60 nations. So on their behalf, I received this, and I thank you very much. I also want to thank this amazing visionary Senegalese lady. I don't think the world has any idea what's in the future because she is so motivated, energetic, skilled, and delightful. Thank you. I mentioned our volunteers. We have a unique business model. In Mercy Ships, we charge our professional volunteers for the privilege of volunteering. It's a unique model. It probably wouldn't work anywhere else, but it works for us. They have to pay their own airfare or find sponsorship. We actually charge them for their room and board. Well, what happens? Our professional volunteers have a deep sense of buy-in. Mercy Ships doesn't belong to me or to the board, and I have 3 board members here at this table. It belongs to everyone. When they contribute, they feel like it's ours, it's mine. And I think, Amy, that's part of the reason for your success is you allow others to not only attend, but buy in so that it becomes theirs. So on behalf of all of our volunteers, I accept this and I thank you. I want to mention, it's already been mentioned here briefly, we have 2 hospital ships. But as long as you don't tell the media, we're going to retire sometime in the next 2 or 3 years. The Africa Mercy that everyone knows and loves and respects, because we have a family that have in writing offered to pay 50% of the cost to build a sister ship to our new ship. So we will have 2 new ships. 2 new hospital ships serving Africa and the Africans that we love. Double the hope, double the healing, double the training, because as you know well, we employ between 200 and 400 local professionals of each of the port cities where we are. So double the training in capacity building and training of local healthcare professionals. And I want to conclude with a special note of gratitude to His Excellency President Macky Sall, because he has generously, graciously invited both of the ships to be in Dakar, but also because we have so many here from Egypt, His Excellency President Al-Sisi, because for the first time in history, the fees for the crossing of the Suez Canal were donated by the country, by the President of Egypt. Thank you. We want to mention Morocco winning so far. Africa has many and there's one that I come to like so very much. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Let's go far together. Thank you very much.
Honored me with this special, I would say, gift for 2022. Since I was 7 years old, I always wanted to do a PhD. I didn't know what exactly, but I just wanted to be credible. And through education, that was the way that one could speak with authority. Because if you know your subject matter, people will listen to you. So that was really what I grew up believing in, being in a house where my father had a PhD and his friends had PhDs, and every night, doctor was over the house. I didn't know exactly what I wanted a PhD in, but as time passed, and this past week I was at the American University in Cairo celebrating the 75th anniversary of the economics department. That's where I graduated. I got my undergraduate degree in economics, then came right away to Washington, D.C., and started my master's and PhD at University of Maryland. And it's been a fascination with public policy, trying to have an impact, trying to design methods and ways to make life easier for everybody. It's been a fantastic journey, and I want to especially thank the President, His Excellency Abdel Sisi, for believing he chose me to be the Minister of Tourism, the first female Minister of Tourism, from a different field completely. I was at the time advisor to the Chief Economist here in Washington, D.C., and I got a call where they said, you should come back and be sworn in. And I said, sworn in for what? They said, the Ministry of Tourism. And I said, everybody knows my field. It's international economics, it's monetary policy, it's banking. What do I have to do with tourism? And they said, His Excellency wants it to be run through economics, as an economic model. This is a male-dominated sector. I was the youngest minister in cabinet, first female minister, so it meant a lot to me. It was a shock to all of my friends, but the results came out very positively. And until today, citizens in Egypt recognize me for being Minister of Tourism. After that, at the end of 2019, I was reappointed or asked to be Minister of International Cooperation, a field which is closer to heart. But it happened at a time when COVID hit, and it was very difficult to travel and create partnerships, and we had to do this remotely. And this is where these principles of economic diplomacy came together. And then after that, Egypt became the president of COP and all the preparations that had to take place. And as I mentioned earlier, while multilateralism and international cooperation sometimes are in doubt, and let me take from Mr. Don Stevens' words, that it's only together that we can solve our common problems, because problems are common. And the solutions just require us all to come together with humility and with purpose. I continue to believe that policy making is very, very important, and to me it's really a passion, not a mission. And I thank you very much for this, and I know that now I can start 2023 with something very special that gives me motivation. And I want to thank all my friends who are here. They left what they have to do on Sunday to come and share with me. I have colleagues from college, I have colleagues from work, I have colleagues who I cherish very much, and your presence here with me means a lot.
Just nice Africa, just nice Africa.